Hello, I'm Craig Bradley, the Executive Director of AO Lab, and you are looking at the intro we have been prototyping our way through for what we're calling the Canvas. It is a 3D Bible framework. We don't have only 3D, we also have 2D as well, which is a bit more conventional but has some unique aspects to it as well. I will show you that in just a second. As the intro plays, though, I'll just give a quick background, assuming you're not familiar with us. We are AO Lab. We are a 501c3 nonprofit making tools and content for the Alpha and Omega. That's what AO stands for here. And everything we make is open source, free use, no restrictions, no strings attached, and here we are. Now we're talking to AO. So this is a 3D environment on the web. The significance of that I will go into a little bit here as we go through this. So AO is saying we must be new around here, and then is going to discover a Bible over here. While AO is looking at this Bible, I want to cover the importance of the web. The web is the most accessible platform out there, and it can enable all sorts of interaction, and it works on low-cost hardware and low-cost devices, and can even work offline. Yes, you can use the web offline, or at least off-grid, by a local compute device. Here is a small little Raspberry Pi. It's a little Linux computer. So when we make tools at AO Lab, we are focusing on making tools that, if they're successful, then they can spread broadly, widely, across many different peoples, can be used in many different use cases, online and offline, and are social and inherently collaborative, and like I mentioned before, are 100% free, no strings attached. That's the goal, and let's proceed along here. So AO is the name of this little bot here. We are at ao.bot, where this tutorial or something like it will live. It's not quite ready yet, but it's asking to be able to scan the Bible. So we're going to scan the Bible, and kind of fun. I should also say this works in virtual reality and in augmented reality and XR in general. I'm going to skip ahead in the dialogue here. And now AO has scanned the Bible, and some raw light has popped out, and it's asking me to hand the raw light to AO. So I've done that now. And AO is detecting a new signal, and now someone from inside the Bible here is talking to us and is asking for our help. This tutorial is not quite complete, but the goal of this tutorial is to teach people about the Bible itself as a concept. This is assuming that you're coming at the scriptures with no prior knowledge or background, and maybe you want to get a little bit of an overview of what the Bible is. This experience has a lot of changes coming, so this is, again, not the finished product. We have several changes I already want to make that haven't been incorporated into what you're seeing now, but hopefully it gives you the idea, as at least to the kind of content here. And so here it talks about we need to think about the Bible as one big epic story, written in the Old and New Testament, originally written on 49 different scrolls. And here I can click on the scrolls, and they're not open, but they're not available right now. But then the Bible has many different arrangements, but it's all the same content. The Protestants like to arrange the Bible in 4 different sections, which we haven't labeled here just yet. But each of these books each of these little blocks here represents a different book of the Bible. So here you have the bottom 5. This is the Torah. And these things will be labeled, and you'll be able to play with them and do more stuff with them in the future. But for now, they're just the structures. But here, for example, here these big tomes here are the 5 books of the Psalms, because the Psalms, not many people know, are 5 different books. And it just lets you play with the Bible in a spatial manner. But and the purple here is the New Testament, and again, this is all just test experiences here. And then here this shows the arrangement of the Tanakh, which is the Hebrew Old Testament and the Hebrew version, where you have 3 different sections here: the law, the writings, and the law, the prophets, and the writings, I think it is. I'll have to look at my notes and see, I've forgotten. But different arrangements of the exact same material. And we haven't finished going through this whole experience, but that's where where we've got to so far. So I'm hoping this is sort of a visual aid for helping people see and understand and play with the Bible and play with the scriptures, because people learn best through play. And by play, I mean interact, be able to do so in a loose way without much restriction, and discover the Bible for themselves rather than be led through it by a guide. But there's a collaborative aspect here where you could have a small group or others also working in this same sort of way. So the goal here is to enable that sort of interactivity. Let's move on to our next demo, which is the Canvas. So that intro experience, which is not complete, that you just saw, is the initial experience that is going to be a guide to take someone into the Bible Canvas here. And the Canvas is a 3D Bible that is designed to be a place where users who desire to can author and create their own content. And like I've been saying, everything is collaborative here. So if you see this this cursor move across the screen, we have different cursors and users and so on. And if I make a purple bot, then and zoom in over here, you can see if I wiggle the spot on the left-hand side, it wiggles on the right-hand side. This whole thing is social and collaborative, and it works in AR and VR and everything else. There are a number of features we have yet to implement that are very close to being implemented, but just to show you the basic premise, here I can load in the scriptures, and I can load in more of the scriptures if I want to, and bring in different trays and different pieces of content here, and I can drag the words off the page and do all sorts of stuff. And this is a way that we can make 3D experiences and enable 3D content in ways that really haven't been attempted before. You could imagine seeing the tabernacle in the book of Leviticus, or Numbers build itself as you read through it, or seeing the 3D structures and maps of the Bible. Here we have a mind map tool to help people organize their thoughts and structure them in new ways and rearrange them, and all these things are collaborative. And then, of course, for anything that you're doing, you need to have a way of erasing content so that you don't have the situation be overloaded. So a lot more work to be done here, but the Canvas is coming along. And I think we're going to be in what we call a beta. I'm guessing end of this month, January 1st, this should be in a not complete from a product standpoint sense, but working, generally speaking, without bugs and able for you to try and use if you'd like to. And I'll probably have to put some thought around some kind of campaign to help educate people that this is a thing that can be used. So let's also talk about the more traditional Bible experience that we have been working on here. So here, I'm going to use my phone, and I'm going to click in Chrome. And if you didn't know, Google Chrome and many other web browsers let you just easily create and share a QR code. So I'm going to join this QR code from my phone. And so here on my phone, if you see my camera screen, the Bible is loading up for me on my phone here. And this is going to allow me to join into the Bible as well. And if I tap and highlight a verse, as you can see, it's likewise highlighted here. And if I scroll through and highlight something down here, I can see it here. And so here we have a Bible with shared user presence. And I can also, if I want to, I can pull up and I can see someone else is hanging out here. There's a green user hanging out in Matthew chapter 1, which is me on my phone. So I'm going to follow that user here. And then if on my phone I start navigating through the Bible, then it's going to update here on the computer and let me follow that user through the Bible and tap and highlight and do all sorts of stuff. So it's a Bible with shared presence. And it's a community tool that can be used for discipleship, for evangelism, and we're going to add more functionality over time to allow this to be used in all sorts of ways. But there aren't organizations working on collaborative, easy, accessible, free, open, unrestricted biblical tools that anyone can use with no strings attached that I'm aware of. So we decided to try to do that. So here we are. For next steps, the goal here is to start working on finishing up the roadmap. So here this is our Miro board that we use to plan out where we're at. The green sticky notes are things that have been finished. The yellow here are basically headings, and the orange things are specific tasks. This month we're going to try and finish up the Bible, the Canvas, the introductory section, then work on Canvas tutorialization. We have several specific tools we'll be working on, and other things that we're going to try and do. We have other side quests. I won't go into all the details for those. But the goal then is to start thinking through how can we test these tools in the real world, and how can we start to think through how can we enable users to create, to facilitate collaborative social content easily without restriction or barriers. And the long-term goal here is to get all Christians to be inspired to create content that is biblical, free use, and able to be used by anyone, so that we could work from house church to house church, from small group to small group, from life group to life group, creating biblical content that anybody else can use free of charge and with no requirement of attribution, so that those who have precious time in their lives can just take it without needing to wonder if it's able to be used, and then just use it in their lives or in their church or in their small community, and trust that God will reward those who are making it, and let that passion and that positive feedback loop hopefully bubble up into something wonderful. That's the goal. Our website here is helloaolab.my.canva.site, because we are a nonprofit and this is a free website, and our finances are public. This link here will take you to those. I'm going to update those finances immediately after I finish recording this video here. And if you want to learn how to get involved, if you click on this Give Me a Tour thing, it'll take you to a YouTube playlist. This YouTube playlist is fairly up to date. I haven't done everything I want to do. It's a limited amount of time I have, but we will be improving these resources over time. So whenever you come to the website and click on Give Me a Tour, and that'll walk you through the playlist, and all these resources will improve. So if you'd like to donate, you're welcome to do so. If you'd like to use the community site, you're welcome to do so. And the community site will give you many, many more resources into our mission, our vision, and how we're going about making things. And we are not currently able to sustain ourselves financially at the pace we're going. A little bit more financial help would be amazing. If you feel called to donate, that would be incredible. Or more importantly, if there's a ministry that you think might be encouraged by what we're doing and would like to support us in some way, that would be amazing. We have no financial support of any kind in a regular, ongoing sense. So anything that can be done there is wonderful, but we trust God to provide. Most importantly, we would covet your prayers. I would ask that you pray for us as an organization, but I would ask even more so that you pray for personal holiness for myself and for those involved, that we would grow in our love of God and in our pursuit of being obedient to Him and following the calling that He has placed on all Christians' lives to be as Christ-like as possible. The pursuit of all this technology is wonderful and fantastic and could result in some amazing things. But at the end of the day, God doesn't need any of this. Jesus doesn't need any of this. The Father can change hearts for centuries like He always has, just by simply moving inside of people in ways that only God can. So we know that these tools at best are just a means of facilitating the Holy Spirit, and we're not under any illusions that the right experience could make someone a believer instantly. We do just want to do our part, though, to lower the barrier to experiencing the Christian content and creating biblical content as much as we possibly can. So please pray for the pursuit of loving God to be our first aim as individual Christians. Secondly, that God would raise up many Christians who have a passion for giving their content away free of charge, without restriction, so that other Christians can utilize, adapt, recontextualize, modify, and re-implement their content, and give any lesson or teaching a new life of its own in a more specific content that the creator of that lesson or teaching can't envision. So give pray that God would place that passion in more people's hearts. And lastly, of course, just for the mission of the organization itself. And if you'd like to partner with us, if you're a brother or sister in Christ, you're already a part of the family. So we are very easy to reach and connect with. That is the monthly update. I do think we will be in beta, as I said, for the Canvas and for the Bible itself. And beta means it will be ready to be used, but could have broken or breaking bugs that ruin the experience. It'll probably be till late January or February that we're really in alpha, and those timelines are subject to whatever happens. I'm not sure, but I'll keep you updated. If you want to subscribe to YouTube, you can see our updates there. And very soon we will have a monthly newsletter that you can subscribe to and receive. I have not made that yet, and that service does not exist, but if you're watching this video, it will be in the description below once it's ready, and it's not yet. It probably won't be ready till next week, but we will have new ways to keep in touch with you in the future so that we can build an audience that we can message and say, hey, things are ready, or help us spread the word, or whatever the need is. So that's it for now. Again, I'm Craig Bradley, the Executive Director, and thank you from AO Lab. God bless you.